my greater joy is to see what has happened. When Dr. J was catering Steve Harvey or Oprah Winfrey, and I've been a part of every step of this vision, I never saw in a million years that I would know anything about food. And so it is so spectacular to see all the magic that he's done over the years. And he said, I'm going to open up the largest restaurant, soul food restaurant in the world. And he said that 5 years ago, and look at us today. And so he will speak more about that, but there is nothing that you can't do when you put your mind to it. And sometimes people think that you're crazy when you step out and do something that's never been done before. But if you never leap, you won't know if you can fly. And so it has been my pleasure to soar with him for 16 years, and everything he puts his hands to comes to success because he just is not going to have it any other way. He's a psychologist, as you guys know. Look, so you can't say anything. Don't answer a question without putting a thought to what you're getting ready to say. He typically knows the answer before he asks you, trust me. He is a phenomenal radio host on Stevie Wonder's radio station in Los Angeles, and I have the pleasure of co-hosting with him where he interviews celebrities and celebrity couples, and trust me, they love him all over the world. But more importantly, he is a CEO, and he is a business person, and he is a person of empowerment because don't get it twisted, he is a pastor who has amazing integrity and love and passion for people, and his joy is to leave a legacy that says that he made a difference. And so on that note, I bring to the stage none other than our Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Jacobs. Let's receive him.
Hey guys, how are you? 1998, I walked into the locker room of University of Tennessee. A good friend of mine that came to college with me from my same hometown, a little small town called High Springs, Florida. It's about 2 red lights. They maybe have 3 now. Since the county, it is still 2, maybe. The county joined the city, so we're a little bigger now. We're moving up. He left with me on scholarship at the University of Tennessee, and we was playing ball together, and it was halftime, and we was losing. We were losing. And when I walked into the locker room, he was crying. And I thought to myself, first of all, he's a very big guy. And I was like, man, why are you crying? Number one, you're making me look bad because we're from the same hometown and you're just too big to be crying. And he's crying. And I pulled him to the side and asked him, why are you crying? And he says, Jacob, you don't understand. I can't take another loss. And I said, what do you mean? I said, it's just halftime. It's just halftime. We have 2 more quarters, and we're going to get it, and we'll be fine. But we have all season. And he said, no. What you don't know is we come from the same town, but you don't know my story. He said, what you don't know is I grew up with a single mother. My dad walked out on me and her, and she had to fend for me, and I saw my mother struggle. And we took losses along the way. And then you don't know that I didn't get a chance to play ball with my father, and I tried to do everything I can to make, because I was excited and I was passionate about proving something that I can do it without him. And I took losses along the way. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know if I was going to get my scholarship, is because I was having trouble with my grades and the ACT, and things just panned out for me, but I had to fight. And some I won and some I lost, but I took so many hits as a young person that now that I find myself here, it is intense for me when I'm facing something that could cause me to lose again. And I can't, just to be honest with you, the coach think I'm fine, but I need you to know, as my friend, is spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, I can't take another loss. I want to put a dime in the meter right there, is because many of you, the one thing that you cannot do for me is hide from transparency. At some point in your life, what people don't understand is really what you've been through. Really the things that you've had to persevere through. Raising families, trying to keep your dream alive, trying to work, trying to be an entrepreneur, trying to, what do you do when what you believe for and your reality don't line up? You know, you keep pressing through the struggles, illnesses, and things of nature. Maybe you tried a business, it didn't work out that time. Just all those dynamics of taking losses along the way, as well as celebrations. But some of us in this room is really resonating inside of this. At any time of life that I'm gonna do it, I must do it now. But the truth is, Dr. J, I cannot take another loss. You don't even have it in you to take another hit. That's the truth. But I want to share something with you. We're family now. We're around the table. Can I talk to you? I have a suit on, but don't get the suit twisted. I remember over 13 years ago, I walked outside my house because I chose to be an entrepreneur. I chose to work my career and take the finances that we had, and I wanted to get our businesses going, and I was in agreement with my wife, and we pressed in. But there was a night I walked outside, and my car, my Lincoln Navigator, was gone out of my driveway. I grabbed my cell phone and I called 911. I was like, somebody stole my car. And they told me, look, is there glass around? I said, they're good, there's no glass, they stole my car. And they said, well, give me a second to dispatch, and then came back on and said, sir, nobody stole your car. I said, you need to send somebody or send me a supervisor because somebody stole my car. They said, no. They said, well, you need to call the impound. I said, the impound? They said, yeah, your car's been repoed. I remember owning one of the largest insurance agencies as a young man. But much of the business was built off of me, and it was commission-based, and I was doing really well. They told my wife that we could not have children. By the way, it's her 13th birthday today. That she's gonna have children. Name is Trinity. And so happened one day she walked in the house with the little Infomil bag and said, nope, we're pregnant. And beautiful thing, the best day of my life. And in one day that I'm waiting to go on my appointments because my wife was my appointment setter, she said, oh, I have to go to my doctor's appointment, but I'll be back to get your appointment set, get you going so that you can go out today. And she called me and she said, I can't come home. They have me on the way to the hospital because I developed preeclampsia. I said, preeclampsia, what is that? And said, well, they're having trouble controlling my blood pressure, and if they don't get it under control, not only could we lose the child, but I could stroke out. And so immediately I dropped everything. But can I be honest with you? That's great if you're checking in somewhere or clocking in. But when you're an entrepreneur and it's built on you, the best day of my life just immediately turned to a nightmare, because not only am I concerned about my child and my wife, but I just lost my business partner. I didn't even know how to log into my computer to get the lead out. You know? So I ran to the hospital, of course, and I'm checking on her, and they're watching it by the hour. And this is weeks at a time, and she don't want me to leave, so I'm staying in the hospital, and I'm depleting all of our finances because the insurance man don't have health insurance. But I had money. And I had saved for this occasion, but I didn't save if anything go wrong. But I had money. And sure enough, that every day faithfully, their business department would come and say, before we can administer new medication for the day, you have to cash out. So money depleted itself, but I remained a good husband and taking care of my wife and child, and she's okay. But babe, I have to go to work. I went to work, and I'm skipping a piece of the story because I want you to catch it momentarily. As I went to work, and I can't say the gentleman's name because of non-disclosure reasons, but I will say this: he was the owner of at the time, the metal company that the U-Haul facilities utilized to build their facilities. I went out to his house, and it was just of great magnitude, and I wrote an insurance policy that was just a blessing to us. But at the end of the day, I was sitting at his table, and he said something to me. He says, Jacob, thank you for a wonderful experience, but I have to ask you. Now, you wrote my insurance, and I know you work for a bank such and such. However, who is Baptist? And I thought to myself, Baptist? I said, Baptist. I said, oh, Baptist. I said, sir, let me explain. And I have to be honest with you and transparent. I said, my wife is in a hospital, and she's at Baptist Hospital. And she worked for me, and she set my leads. I said that to say that this is a woman that was on the verge of stroking out, had our child that they said we could not have. struggling to live. And as an entrepreneur, trying to help me achieve and reach a vision as an entrepreneur and to make sure that we can make ends meet. The point I said to this is not to make a sob story. I just wanted to be honest with you to say, don't let the tie fool you. I am you. I sit in a boardroom now, but I come from out of the kitchen. I come from ground up with absolutely nothing, and nobody came for me. Absolutely nobody. Not in my family, they didn't come for me. As a matter of fact, I'm the one in the family that they lean on. But what happens when the person that gets leaned on needs somebody to lean on and there's no one that comes for you? So you know what I did? I took paycheck by paycheck. And we did walk in the house sometimes and our lights was off. But we was in agreement because we're going so well, so we persevered, and 2 days later we'll turn them back on when the next check comes. Why? Because I took all the money I had, and you know how I started my first restaurant? $16,000 I opened my doors. $16,000. They told me it would take $1.3 million to do what I said I wanted to do in Southern California. I had $16,000 to my name. And all of that technically should have been my deposit, to be honest with you. I walked in his office and I told this gentleman, he was a foreigner, I couldn't even hardly understand him. He probably couldn't hardly understand me. And I said, sir, just bet on me. And I promise you, not only would I do that, but come see what I'm doing. And he saw me, and I did all the work. I can't tell you it's the best way at the time, but we painted our restaurant. And I learned how to lay tile that day. You know, we boiled out our fryers. And we cleaned our toilets and rehung doors and brought the health department in, and they're tedious and got these components, and I don't have the money, but I figured it out. Thank God for YouTube. Just say it. And I know how to call a vendor in and tell me what I need to do. Okay, that's gonna cost me $20,000, but what I'm really doing is watching. That's how you do it. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to hustle you, but I needed to know how to fix this because I needed it. And I opened my doors. When I opened my doors, everything pretty much went down to zero. I had just enough that if the first payroll come out, I had enough to cover my staff. So at least in the event that it went wrong, I can cover the integrity of the people and only have to deal with the landlord. But I was already transparent with him in the first place. He gave me a shot. Opened my doors, $20,000 a day. They're looking at me from a perspective that, oh, this restaurant is the bomb successful. I'm back there in the kitchen cooking, sweating. Not from the heat, but Lord, let it happen. Let it happen, let them come, let it happen. And they're probably thinking, oh, this man just a millionaire. I'm thinking, oh, I get to pay all these bills. Or have you? And then the next day, the same thing. I'll work my way out of the hole. And I knew then that I can't plan for now. I have to save this money because the FDD is gonna cost me a couple $100,000. And all this stuff. And if I really wanna do this, I'm number one, at some point gonna have to hold tight. And two is I got a plan. First call I get, and I'm struggling really, is Walt Disney calls me. And the offer a buyout. And the numbers looked great, but I didn't get into it for that. I got into it because I was hoping that one day I can stand in front of people like yourself and say to you that nobody came for me. But fortunate enough in your life, with everything that you have inside of you, I can assure you your success has nothing to do with externally. Everything that's gonna be successful about you, you already have it. I know this. I was messing with you last night to come at you and say I can cook better than you. I would be a fool to think with all this experience in the room. I know who you are. I just wanted to remind you who you are and to say to you that nobody came for me, but I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. You are in the middle of the ocean, and I'm coming with a boat. But hear me clearly. I'm not putting you on the boat. Because the truth of the matter is, and we shared this last night, Nobody here really needs a handout. What you need is somebody to come with a boat and say, I have nails, I have boards, I have tools, and build your own boat. Help me build what is, I have something in mind. What I'm saying to you is we are devoted to work for you. Don't get this twisted. You're not here to work for us. We don't need staff. Let me show you what we do. You pay me, let me do the work. When they speak of the systems, let us show you the systems. Occupy the system so that you can do what you love to do. My responsibility is to protect you and I investment. To make sure that what you do best day to day, that you can do it without the pressure that every one of you know that an entrepreneur go through. How do you work an 80-hour week and still go market yourself? Absolutely not, but we've all done it. Because you do what you have to do. But if you have a true system in place, if you have a true team in place, isn't that the point? But times have changed. Technology has evolved. There's no such thing as marketing. Don't let somebody sell you. Well, we're going to post on Facebook for you, and we'll post 3 times a week, and we'll post your pictures. That don't guarantee you no customer. You need a team that can say, you know what, I know your analytics. This is how much it costs to analytically achieve a customer and to create a paying customer. And we run a system that I can tell you that, hey, on Tuesday, a slow day at 3 o'clock, you need to have X amount of staffers because I've already sold you 150 meals. Money hits your account, serve the food, is already paid for. Those are analytics, those are marketing, those are sales. Your responsibility is, how are you going to retain your customers? Lastly, simply this. The only way that I would step back from you is simply this question. What are you going to do with the platform and the thing that you said that you desired and wanted? Now that you have it, what are you going to do with it that surpasses yourself? You are going and implementing yourself in your community, and you are going to be, we're going to be impactful in our community. But you're also creating jobs, but you're also pulling from the community. With your profits, build your life, do everything that you desire to do, but what is it that you're going to do to give back? I assure you, whatever you choose, because everyone else needs to choose something, us as corporate will match you. But you have to do something positive, impact. There's sex trafficking in many cities. There's poverty and homelessness and lack of education. What are you going to do? I say to each of you that if nothing else happens today, stop dreaming and wake up. Dreaming is over. It's time to go. I can assure you that if you move forward in this, we won't allow you to procrastinate. I promise you, we won't. And we won't let you drown. We are here to encourage you, inspire you, but the truth of the matter is, I can't make you believe in you. You were vetted, but they have vetted you according to the filters that I believe that says that this person is very clear about. If you look in the mirror, don't you get so burned out that you have forgotten all that you put in. I think everything that's happening today, thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. Because to be honest with you, you'll do this. You'll do this. You'll do this. You have probably worked harder than I. I've been there. I've worked the hours. But many of you have done it for much more many years than I. And yes, you've made a good living for yourself and you've paid your bills. But after that, what's your savings? If you got sick today, then what? Some of us got a couple more years on our hands and that's it. You can't just keep staying in the heat of that kitchen. Restaurant business, in the back of that kitchen is some hard business. What's the plan? At some point, you come from out inside of the business to the outside of it and just run it. It's your livelihood. You have whatever reason. What I'm saying is whatever your purpose is, whatever it is that motivates you, this is time, bring it forth. Lastly, as I walk off, I need all of you guys to do me a big favor on your way home today. Stop by Hallmark. Go by Winn-Dixie or Publix. Go by the cart section. And I want you to go to the bereavement section. And I want you to get a card that says, I'm sorry for your loss. And you know what I want you to do with that card? I want you to mail it to all your haters. I want you to mail it to every individual that is uncomfortable and got questions. What you do, they're fine as long as you stay stagnant. As long as you don't evolve, as long as you keep doing what you're doing. Is it real? Is it gonna happen? All those people sit in the car and say, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry that I won't remain doing what I've always done and just keep dreaming and talking about it. I'm sorry that now I'm occupied and can't keep you company because you stuck, and my reminder of my success is gonna remind you that you won't move on your dream. I'm sorry for your loss. You get them the bereavement card. And today, we give you a card of celebration. I am proud and I am excited to be privileged enough to be the CEO of this company. Know this, that I'm praying for you. And know this, that no matter where I am or where you are, I will come to you. I never have to try to outcook you, and you don't have to try to outcook me. It's because we're one. I said that it's because the reason I believe I'm great is I met people like yourself along the way, and I set my ego down, and I set my skills down, and I said, hey bro, I'm trying to do this right here. And they said, hey, you need to do it like this right here. I said, okay, and I learned. What I'm saying is, I'm here because of you. I pay homage to you. All I'm trying and going to do is to present to this world a new management of soul food. And I'm talking about bringing souls from all around the world, bringing a fusion to pay homage to the history of what really already is there, but have been very poorly performed. And the reason I can do that great and not lie to media is that I got people just like you. I can't wait for them to meet you. Take your rightful place. This is the time. Everything that your employer, isn't amazing that you can open all of their stores? You can make all that profit and bless them. And they paid your salary, I get it. But you mean I can open it, but I was never good enough for you to ever give me one? You see, that's true. I have 2 children, Trinity and Isaac. I'm a father, I'm a husband. I'm not perfect. I do maybe have a little ADD, maybe. I'm definitely a perfectionist, but I'm not perfect. But I promise you, you won't outwork me. I'm available. I don't go to sleep. I will give you my home address. We really are open. It's because you're not by yourself. We didn't sell you a bill of goods and say, sink or swim. Swimming is the only option. And we don't let each other drown. Our entities are going to be strongest because we're going to come together. In Atlanta, what's happening in your market? You doing this right here? That's working for you? How do we then now express that in a way to this whole group so that we can evolve and know, do you think that I'm foolish enough to not to talk to the people that has did this unequivocally for years and see what's happening? Not for us to take that all into account. We're stronger together. And all I want you to know is that you're no longer been hushed and put aside and locked in. All our company's going to do is direct you to the person. It's a menu situation. I got you. You need to call your chef. He's the one that loves it. He eats and breathes it. We'll send it to you. We need to implement something that's great. Guess what? It's not on you. We're going to make our vendors serve us up. Let's try it. It works. Let's stick it. It's all type of processes, but it's methodology. Because we're not mom and pop. I can't let you red line, what have you, and I can't put anything at risk for your entity or misrepresent you because I have to make sure, can your cooks cook it? How are we gonna line it out? How are we gonna cost it out? You know what I mean? How are we gonna deal with the food critics? Things of that nature. Let me put some publicity behind it. Let me market it. It's all our job to make sure we protect your ROI and even your own creativity. Be innovative, but how do we roll it? You see? God bless you. Our privilege. Thank you.